now.
Gotta do that
Alright.
clap thing. There we
As we journey back to the world of Zarenir, we leave off with a kind of downtrodden but kind of happy group getting back from murdering some rats and drowning them in a puddle of piss. A few days went past, and another group was sent off to dispatch of certain cackling and laughing in a local farmhouse. That, well, it went a lot better than the rat, so to say. A few weeks have gone past now, doing odd jobs here and there, and the winter season is starting to roll in. Farms have made the final harvest, and frost is blanketing the surrounding landscape as birds and other migratory animals head south. We start with Silas sitting at the bar talking to the bartender,
go. Good evening.
asking about another job.
Have you anything else for me?
Hmm. You know, we might. I have not received my last shipment yet. It was supposed to be here last week. So I can either have you go track that down, or there may be something else on the board that I can get for you.
Alright. Let's check the board. I like to have options.
Alrighty. I'm gonna have you take a couple steps back.
Of course. I get down from my stool, step back.
And he walks out from behind the bar, and there are more people in here than usual, as everyone is trying to escape the cold. He kind of swishes his tail around to get a wide berth. You hear a couple groans from the surrounding patrons as they cover their drinks. He flexes his back, and two large wings come out. He flaps them a couple times to get up to the board. You see, as he is looking over the envelopes, he grabs onto the board and surrounding wall and folds his wings for a minute. You see him look at two envelopes and then just kind of dismiss the idea and looks lower on the board. Grabs one more and lies back down. The old the old mill about a couple leagues down apparently is having some issues with bandits.
Alright.
Um, they they've apparently been pillaging the stock, and we kind of need that for winter.
Well, I suppose and that's the job I should take, yeah? Help the
Alrighty.
people of the town.
Alrighty. Let's let's see if you can get yourself a group together and be on your way.
Uh, I turn around and do I see any of my former companions strewn about the tavern?
Make a perception check.
Okay. I could do that. I have a perception bonus probably.
Probably.
Uh, Perception. Oh yeah, this isn't alphabetical. +3. 16. 16 perception, Sir Talos.
Excuse me. You see Elvern over in the corner back by the right wall, talking with what looks to be a tan younger man, um, kind of messy dark hair and uh, leather armor with the bracers being engraved in the pattern of scales. And you know that where Elvern is, Alvira is probably not far off. You just can't see her above the crowd.
Right. How about the that fire genasi? Or maybe my old wizard companion. Do I see either of them?
You see a faint flicker of like orangish light in the back left corner. Letting you know that the Genasi is most likely over there. Either that or a pyro is trying to start something.
Alright, well, I'll go there first. It's been a while since. Actually, wait, I don't know them. Never mind. That was you who played with them. What am I talking about? Well, I go there because
Then
I
you just
saw
see a
I saw a
faint
little.
flicker light in the left corner.
Yeah. My interest is piqued. I stroll with my head held high.
You walk over and see this young ashen colored man sitting there, eyes kind of glow for a second orange and then dim again.
Uh, Pardon, am I interrupting?
No, not at all. What can I help you with?
I have a job, and I'm a bit
Oh.
short-handed. You look like you can handle yourself. Are you a part of the guild?
Yes, I am, actually.
Fantastic. The old mill is having a bit of problems with bandits, and I
Oh.
figure if we get a group together, we can dispatch of them, help the town for the winter, and have another good deed on our conscience.
I suppose I could help you guys out with that.
Fun. I didn't get your name.
Wick, actually.
Silas, nice to meet you. I
You
do
too.
have companions that I have rambled with before, and let's this way. And I kind of beckon Wick, and then head towards Alvern and Elvira.
And I follow close behind.
Alrighty. You make your way over across the tavern, and sitting in the back right corner, near one of the windows, is Elvern, and Alvira is currently sitting down beside him. And they are both talking to this young leather-clad man.
I feel a presence come up behind me. More footsteps. Turn around and see Silas. Oh, hey, how you doing?
I have another job.
Oh, it's not rats again, is it?
Ha! Thankfully, no. I made sure of that. Bandits this time. Ruffians.
Something I can get more behind this time.
I was hoping you'd say that. Are you in?
Um, you know, why not? Tag along.
All right. Why don't you introduce me to your friend here?
Um, this is just somebody I just kind of met just now.
Oh, well, hello. I'm Silas, and I look towards the disheveled man.
It's not disheveled, just messy hair.
The rough-haired man.
But he looks at you and goes, "Hey, I'm Lance." "Oh, hey, Wick." And you see him stop and immediately turn and leave.
Oh, how
I
curious.
don't know what his problem was.
I believe Wizzy is taking a nap.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since the rats.
I say we need one more. I'm looking for a man with muscle. Someone who can very much take care of themselves.
like,
I could use your keen eye.
no, you're saying somebody big, man.
Yes,
We talking like barbarian type deal, or
someone. Sure.
I mean, we can keep a lookout. I know Alvera's probably gonna be coming along too.
Oh, of course. I was planning on it. I'm sure Talos probably knows of someone.
Surely.
All right, up to the bar we go. I go back to the bar, and I lean forward towards Talos, and before I even ask him about the muscled companion, that sounded a little sexual. Will there be coin involved?
There should be, yes. I know that they are one of the more well-off families.
Fantastic.
They're actually newer here. Their previous village was, well, it was unfortunately burnt.
That's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear.
Indeed.
Second question. Do you happen to know of any bigger folk, more sturdy, muscular, of stronger build?
I don't. Not. I know the blacksmith, but he's. Well, you saw him the other day.
Yes.
Why don't you take a day or two to get supplies, weapons, and come back, and I'll see if anyone's turned up.
Will do. I turn around. I said, well, you heard the Dragonborn? We have a few days
Guess
to
we
ourselves.
might as well take a little bit of a rest. Figure out what next.
I agree. And I reach my hand up and give Evie a little scratch under the beak. I suppose I'll retire for the evening. You all... I say we meet back 2 days?
2 days should be enough time. Might want to go and get my sword maybe resharpened from the floorboard last time.
A new sword would be nice. How about meet back here tomorrow in the morning and I'll join you to the blacksmith.
Sounds like a plan.
Fantastic.
I guess to see you then.
I guess we will. Fade to black. Unless somebody else wants to do something tonight.
Is there anything that you guys want to do over the next 2 days?
Well, the next morning I'll meet with Elvern and join him to the blacksmith.
Okay.
I'm in the market for something.
Alrighty.
Thanks, Lacey.
So you guys meet up in front of the tavern and start heading over to the blacksmith. He's about a block down to the right, past through the agora, and you get close to it, and where there is now freshly fallen snow throughout the rest of the village, within a solid 3-4 inches of the entire building is just slush and melted snow, and you can hear the steady ching, ching, ching coming from the blacksmith.
Uh, excuse us.
What can I help you with?
We're here to get our weapons maybe sharpened, refined a little bit. They kind of took a little bit of a beating over the last couple days.
I was also
Alright.
curious if you had anything for sale. Specifically a rapier. Do you have any of those in
Okay.
stock?
Let me check around. And yeah, the person you're talking to is this younger looking half elven gentleman who, despite being short for an elf, you can tell is pretty muscular under his tunic. He goes around the back and you hear him say something, and you hear a deep gruff voice back, and you hear a loud clang of metal, and you hear ouch, and he comes back up rubbing his elbow, and a small pile of swords in his arm. Oh, we have a couple of long swords, and looks to be a rapier in here.
Fantastic. How much do the rapiers usually sell for?
Let's see. And he looks behind him over his shoulder to see if anyone's watching. Well, it's normally about 25 gold, but you know, this one's seen better days. Looks back over his shoulder to see if the other fellow is watching, and he kind of leans forward and goes, "How about 10 gold?"
I'd be a fool to say no.
And before gold exchanges hands, you just hear from the back of the forge, somewhere in the darkness, I told you to charge him 15. 15 it is.
Alright. I kind of wince, and I give him the entirety of my coin purse.
Oh.
I just drop it in his hands.
I'm sorry about this. And you'll see he sets it down, turns around, and then just kind of nudges it with his hand, and 2 coins roll out and kind of just onto the table.
Oh, okay.
And then without looking, he'll pick up the bag and bring it with him.
I put the 2 coins in another pouch on my belt.
Alrighty. You now have a rapier.
Cool.
Uh, he's-
See if Elvern can get his sword sharpened before we go.
Hey, how much would you say just a quick sharpen up? Check over the sword? Uh, how many gold pieces would you say that is?
Well, it depends. What did you do to it?
Um, fighting some pests, to say the least, and kind of got it stuck in the floor for a momentarily. It's a little dull near the tip. And I hand him my sword and show him where it was doled out and needs to be sharpened.
Alrighty. Let's see here. And you'll see he levels the blade in front of his face and looks at the edges and the tip.
Okay.
I'd say this would cost you about 7 silver.
7 silver? Hmm. All right. Should be fine. And then, I have 2 daggers on me. They haven't really seen any action for a while. Not sure if they're up to par. If you could take a look at them
Of
and
course.
reach towards my backpack and pull out 2 daggers from this bottom pocket and hand it to him.
Nichao levels them and looks at them. They seem fine to me. I do have a wait for the grinder. If you wanted to go over to the tavern and get a drink, uh, should be done in about an hour.
All right, that should be enough time. I do appreciate it. And I reach towards my pouch and pull out 2 gold coins and give it to him. Here, keep the change. It's a little tip.
Appreciated. And then
Oh,
you see as he takes the sword and goes back to disappears into the darkness of the forge.
Silas, how about you say we go hang out at the tavern for a little bit? Javi.
Maybe he's talking to you.
What did you say?
How about we go hang out at the tavern for a little bit for about an hour or so while he sharpens up my blade?
I'd like to pick up a winter cloak if we can.
Yeah, it should be fine. I'll pay for it for you. We walk away from the blacksmith and make our way more downtown.
All right. You start walking around the agora and you see some dried meats that are trying to be sold by what you can guess is one of the butcher's kids. You see a fresh pan of now cold bread as it's nearing winter and snow is starting to fall. Um,
Can I use
that has
prestidigitation?
no.
Can I use
Sure,
prestidigitation to kind of like wave my hand and get the snow off of it?
sure.
All right, cool. That's it.
Or it's still under like a tent slab. Like there's still a tent
Oh.
over it,
Oh, well then.
but it's just freshly baked bread.
Never mind.
That you do notice has no rat holes in it this time.
Oh, we did it.
And you see Agnes and her granddaughter. I lost my train of thought. You see Agnes and Malin standing there, both smiling, talking about the bread.
Kind of give a nod.
Malin gives a little wave and then goes
wave
back to
back.
talking with Agnes. You walk further down and you see people trying to sell grains and sugars and what little spices can be found. You see someone with jars of cinnamon and nutmeg, some dried rosemary in bundles and jars. You continue walking and you see this kind of elderly dwarven gentleman talking to this tiefling in not fancy but a bit nicer looking clothing, talking about making deals and trying to work together. Now, I told you that I could help you with your business, but I deserve a cut for my time. It is not fair for me to deal with all of your fluff, as she kind of bats around like the tail of what you assume was a raccoon at one point off the table. And I'm telling you, it's not fluff, it's fur. And you said you would help me. And you can tell that they're in the middle of trying to negotiate terms or renegotiate terms as you walk up.
Sorry, am I in the middle of something here?
Oh, sorry. What can I do for you?
Here to get a winter cloak for my friend here.
Yes. Preferably something, warm, dark, flowy.
Okay. Well, what do you think? Do you want me to make it for them? And we split it? Or do you want to fumble through and become a pincushion like last time? And you hear him say something in Dwarvish. Yakarta. Fine. 13 silver. Well, yeah, 13 silver should do it. Step a little closer. Javi.
Oh, he's talking to, or she's talking to me?
She is now.
Oh, okay. So I step closer.
You see as they both get out these lengths of string, and the dwarf starts measuring your legs and your weight, and she starts measuring your arms and from your head down to the tail of your spine. Starts scribbling stuff on parchment. Alrighty. Well, this should be ready by the end of the night tonight.
I appreciate it.
Ask my
Here's
question, Javi.
Luke would like to ask a question. Yeah, go ahead, Luke.
Can I visit a brothel, my guy? Where can I get some of that?
Yeah. Are there brothels in our town, Nick?
Yeah.
There is not one in this village, no.
Why?
There's not one in this
Go
village.
to a different village then. God.
We'll go to another village another time.
Does
If we go to a brothel, I will send you a link with the video.
Go on,
Does this village have a McDonald's?
Okay, you're
You're
done.
right,
That
go.
place?
You're done. I hand the dwarf how much would this cost?
Depends on the fur. You see, we have nice raccoon. 13 silver. Or over here, we have better raccoon. 15 silver.
But is there like a visual difference between the 13 and the 15?
Make a perception or investigation check. Your choice.
I kind of I walk over to him and I kind of pick them up and investigate them, looking for any differences between the two. That is a 13.
There's absolutely no difference whatsoever. You hold both pieces together and it looks like they're cut from the same record.
I hold the left one, the 13 silver. This one's calling to me. I'll do this one. And I hand
Ah, so you like the tail. Alright. That be your hat.
I hand her the coin as like a down payment. I'll be back to fetch this tomorrow.
Alrighty. We'll see you then.
Wait, am I with them too?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
assuming.
okay. Wait, am I?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
All right.
Can I order something too?
Yeah, we're here.
I was wondering if you had any new capes. I was needing one since it is getting colder.
That's when the tiefling lady pipes up. Yes, I do have some boiled wool cloaks over here.
Oh,
Let's
perfect.
let's see if we can find one for you. And she walks over and starts. You see as she's lifting up fabric and stuff, and she has some that are dyed like a dark red, some that are dyed a green, or some that are like attempted dyed blue. And you see that she has one of almost every color, but she is out of any purple clothes.
Do you happen to have any brown cloaks?
Yes, yes. Give me a moment. And she will uh keep looking for a minute, and she'll find she finds a longer brown cloak that you can tell is made for someone a little taller than you, uh as you try it on, and the back of it just sinks into the snow. And she goes, "Oh, maybe not that one. Here, try this one." And she hands you another cloak that goes down to about your calf level. That looks better.
It's beautiful. How much for it?
Hmm. Let me see your face. And she just gets within like 6 inches of your face and just looks at you. For you, 8 silver.
Thank you. I hand her the silver.
and she'll kind of sneer at the dwarf and go, "If you knew how to make things yourself, you could make more money too." And puts it in in a pouch on the side of her belt.
Wow. So I have a nice raccoon fur-lined outfit eventually. That's fun to visualize. And I have like a scarf thing. It's so weird. I look weird. Nice, Jay. Uh, just for roleplay purposes, on our way back, I'll hop by that tent with the cinnamon and the nutmeg, and I'll purchase uh, various spices in small containers for the for remainder. I'll do 5 silver worth.
Mark down that you have a vial of rosemary, a vial of thyme, 2 sticks of cinnamon, and a piece of licorice gum.
Fine. I will do just that. Piece of licorice gum.
Hey, spell components.
That's true. I was thinking more of the culinary aspect. But yeah.
Hey, licorice gum can still add taste. It adds a. Actually, I don't know what taste it adds to it. But it adds a taste.
Licorice.
All right.
Yes,
Where are
yes.
you guys heading off to?
I'm I'm alright. Figure I could whip something up eventually. But not tonight. I'm a bit tired. I say we rest up. Tomorrow I'll go fetch my outfit and we can talk to Talos about that job.
Well, while you go do that, I think I'm gonna go over to the blacksmith and pick up my sword.
Alright. Then we'll meet back at the tavern tomorrow morning.
All right.
I have a raccoon cloak and hat.
You do.
I think. Did she
You
say
do.
hat?
You have a. Yep.
Wow.
You have a raccoon fur hat and a. You realize. You realized when you were picking it up that while you did specify that you just wanted a cloak. Oh, excuse me. They made you boots, some gloves that are surprisingly thin enough that you can still operate and still have full control of your movement and what you touch and don't touch with them. A hat and a fluffy cloak.
I appreciate it.
Alright. You guys are at the tavern and there has been a steady stream of snow overnight. There is a lot of people currently in the tavern. You see Talos bringing in food from an adjoining door, helping serve, and you see this middle-aged man behind the bar, helping take payment and make drinks, and you're beginning to realize that he is one of the only humans that populate the town. You see a lot of orcs, half orcs, elves, dwarves, a few tieflings here and there, with Talos being the only dragonborn.
Interesting. Nick, are you good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What would you guys like to do?
After I get my clothing, I'm just gonna go back to the tavern and wait for Elvern and Alvira to come back from the blacksmith. I'm trying to imagine my dude who was like well dressed and had like a nice scarf and like this nice raccoon winter attire. It's just funny to me. I'll just be leaning on my quarterstaff because I have one of those after looking at my equipment list.
Well,
Messing with some cards while I wait.
well, I guess at this point, me and Alvera are walking into the entrance of the tavern a little bit later than we anticipated. But look over and see Silas playing with some cards, so I walk up behind him and tap his shoulder.
Ah, I see you're here.
Yeah, we took a little bit too long. Longer than I'd like to, but we're here now.
Excellent. I kind of look towards Wick, who is also next to me but doing their own thing. I say we talk to Talos.
Yes.
Excellent.
You guys go to
Talos.
stand up and make your way over to him. He is now behind the bar, and the door opens beside you, and in walks two humans of close to equal stature. One are both dressed with cloaks, one having a normal colored cloak and the other having a purple cloak. Walk past you and go towards the bar. A few words are exchanged, and the one in the purple cloak kind of goes to turn around and sees Wick amongst you, and kind of, instead of going back straight towards the door, kind of disappears into the crowd for a minute.
Oh. That's odd.
I mean, he kind of the other one right there kind of fits the attributes we're looking for, isn't it?
Perhaps.
Maybe ask Talos if he's part of the guild or not.
Talos.
What can I do for you?
That gentleman over there, is he a part of the guild?
He's not. Actually just had someone bring him to me. Said they found him on a trail from Enkorath. Scratch that. Found him on a trail from... Where's my notes? Found him on a trail from Belfnavir.
Is that far?
It was a mining town over west. A few hundred leagues.
That's quite the distance to travel.
Why from so far?
He intrigues me.
That's the town that the that's the town that the mill owners are from.
Oh,
The town that got burnt.
I say we pay the man a visit. Maybe he's looking for work. I stroll over and kind of make my presence known to the man in the cloak. Uh, excuse me.
Grass, if you would like to introduce your character.
Oh yes, yes, yes. All right. Oh, hold on. Can we pause for a second?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, so like, how does it work? Like, what do I gotta do?
Just like,
Just describe your character, what they look like, what they see.
Okay, so right now I'm in the tavern, right?
yeah, you're wearing a cloak.
Yes.
I just walked up to
Okay,
you. So like, what's
okay,
your guy
okay.
look like?
Okay, so what I look like is, very. He's 6 foot, right? He's very muscled, very strong. He has what is it called? A white, not white. It's like yellowish hair, and he has a yellow like beard, and that's pretty much it.
So it's just the cloak and then bare chested, or do you have like a shirt
Yeah,
on and stuff?
no, just bare chested,
Okay,
so I can show my six pack. I
right.
have sandals, by the way, because sandals are cool.
Man, the
Did you
cold.
got anything underneath the waist on?
Yeah, I have like a, like a leather, thing that covers above my knees, just a little above the knees.
You got a chastity belt?
Yeah, I do have a belt. I do have a belt.
Is it a chastity belt though?
I don't know what that is.
It's
Oh my
It's
it's
a
god.
a
Gucci
no.
belt.
You don't have one, grass.
You don't have one. You don't have one. Just say no.
Uh,
Okay, it don't matter.
so that I'm talking to your character now, grass. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Uh, you look strong. Are you looking
Oh,
for work?
oh yes. I actually need money.
Ah, well, I happen to know where to get some. How would you like to help us dispatch of some bandits at the old mill, not too far from here?
When and where?
We're leaving quite soon, actually.
How much, how much money do I get?
I'd have to ask Talos, the bar owner, the dragon fell over there, and I point
Oh,
over my shoulder. What's your name? I'm Silas, by the way. Silas
man,
Dawnstar.
Silas Dumpster,
Dawn Star.
Don Star. I apologize. I apologize. My mistake. My name is Barbados. I'm a
Ah,
barbarian.
Barbados the Barbarian. Easy to
Yep.
remember. Easy to remember.
Yep. No last name. No last name.
All right. Let's. How about I buy you a drink, Barbados? You
Yeah, I'd
seem
like that.
thirsty. And as I'm walking back, Jay, as I'm walking back, I kind of put a silver on the bar, and I say, a drink for my newfound friend Barbados.
Alrighty. And he'll reach down and grab a tankard and start filling it up with ale. That's it in front of him.
How much coin? Do you know how much coin we'll be getting, or is that up to the owners of the mill?
That's going to be up to the owners. They have
Gosh.
not told me anything. Uh, in fact, their description was pretty vague as far as things go.
How do you mean?
Normally, there's a reward, a certain expectation that must be met. but this one is just almost as if it's a call for help.
Well, then we shouldn't waste any more time. Friends, onward we go. After you're done with your drink, of course, Barbados.
Oh yes, yes, almost done.
I kind of just pat him on the shoulder, and then once he's done, we leave.
Alrighty. Elvern, Elvira, Wick, is there anything that you guys want to do before you leave?
I don't think so.
Mm,
Alrighty. You guys leave and kind of
I'm
go
using my
through to the
quarterstaff
edges of.
as like a walking stick. Sorry, continue.
No, yeah. Is there anything else?
I'm just using it as a walking stick.
Okay.
It's really all. I look very odd with my. Okay, so I know you said raccoon hat, but I'm picturing like one of those Russian ones with the flaps that can come up and down.
Yes.
Cool. But it's made out of raccoon. Cool, cool,
Raccoon.
cool. Cool, cool, cool. Once we get into eyesight of the mill, I want to do something. But until then, continue.
Alright. It is a little bit of a walk. You guys are currently walking down the now snow-ridden path. Snow and ice crunch beneath your feet. You look over and you think Barbados would be cold, but seems to be managing just fine. Kind of walking beside you guys. What is everybody's passive perception?
I believe 13. Yeah, 13.
Wait, where's that at?
It'll be whatever your perception bonus is plus 10.
mm,
I don't know where
Wait,
it's
no,
at.
no, no, no,
8
no,
plus
no,
10?
no, no,
Oh,
no,
okay, okay.
no.
oh wait,
3 plus 10.
So yeah, 13 as
13.
well.
yeah, 13.
10 for mine.
Say that again, 12?
10 for me.
Okay.
Well, I can't find it. Where's it at?
It's what's your
it's your
perception
wisdom.
bonus?
Well, where do I find the perception bonus?
It'll be your skills.
Okay, I
Towards
see
the
it.
left of your sheet. It's in alphabetical order.
Can be underneath nature.
Oh, okay. It's 12. It's just 12.
Cool.
Okay. And you keep walking.
Cool.
You get to where you hear the sound of water running. And
it's
you
that
get
kind
to
of
the
water.
crest of a hill. And you see a stone-based building with wood, starting about 5 feet up, going to about 30 or 40 feet. And you see a water wheel currently spinning in the river. And you hear the grinding of stone inside. But there is no smoke coming from the chimney. There is no sounds other than water and stone.
Okay. I kind of turn towards the group, and I say, well, I'd like to send uh, my friend Evie up here. Point towards my owl up ahead. See if she can, scout things out and report back to me. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that
All
sounds
right.
fine.
For the time being, if you say anything to me, I will not ignore you. I just can't hear you. And I send Evie on her way, and I extend my consciousness towards her so I can see through her eyes and have her scout ahead.
Alrighty. Um. Go ahead and roll a well, first, what do you want to do exactly?
Just go around the windmill. Or is it a windmill? It's just a mill, not a windmill. Just go around the mill, around the exterior, and see if there's any like windows she can peer through and see inside. She does have dark vision, so if it's dark in there, if there is a window, she'd be able to see through. But that's really it.
Go ahead and make a perception or no, yeah, perception.
Yep. And keen senses gives advantage. 15.
Alrighty. You don't see anything around the mill. You see some. Oh, excuse me. You see some trees over on the far side of the next hill. Oh my gosh. Sorry. See some trees over on the far side of the next hill. And you don't see anything around the wind. You don't see anything around the mill. So Evie kind of swoops down closer to the windows and kind of lands on the edge of one. And at first, she doesn't see anything as she's looking around. The left side is just boxes, tables, sacks of grain. And then as she moves over towards the left side, she sees the stones of the mill turning and grinding. And where you would normally see grain, you see nothing but dust. But it seems caked with something. Something's making it stick to the stone and kind of splatter. You see puddles on the floor dripping from the stone. And you see what looks like boot over in the far corner.
You say food or boots?
Boots.
Boots. Oh, okay.
And what is Evie's armor class?
11?
That is a 12, and she takes. That is cocked as a motherfucker. 3 points of slashing damage as you see this paw just come out of nowhere. Just.
You say paw?
Yep.
Not the owl, bro.
Okay, so my vision returns back to me,
Oh no.
And I just cry out, Evie! And I put the quarterstaff on my back and immediately draw my rapier and start inching towards the mill. Oh, also, mage armor. The owl's gone. Someone's
What'd
in
you
there.
say?
I relay as I'm inching towards the mill what I saw, and that there was specifically a pair of boots. So someone, at least somebody's in there. And I beckon everyone to follow me.
Okay. Do you guys follow him?
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm not trying to be loud about it. Like, I'm not like running towards the mill. I'm trying to like.
Javi, I lied. 1 point of slashing damage.
It doesn't matter.
Oh god.
I don't even have find familiar prepared, bro.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh.
but yeah. Evie's gone. Yeah, and I'm inching towards the mill with a little bit of tears in my eyes. My owl's gone.
Alright.
It's dead?
Yeah, Evie's gone. The last thing I saw through her eyes was a paw slashing at her before my vision returned back to me.
Aw.
Alright. So are you said you're sneaking towards the house?
I'd like to, yes.
If everybody could go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Um,
23.
11.
Ah, I rolled on the wrong thing.
Wait, where do I roll?
Roll your d20, Grass, and then add your stealth bonus.
Where's the stealth
18.
bonus?
On next to all those skills. It's in alphabetical order, so it's towards the bottom.
It's gonna
Okay.
be the second one at the bottom.
Okay, stealth. I have +3, and I got a 5.
Oof.
Total
8.
or
No. 5 + 3.
oh, okay.
8.
Oh, 8.
Right.
8.
Okay.
8. It's still it's ass, but you know, better than 3.
I got 3.
Like for your
Okay.
total?
Wait, is the die and then plus the stealth, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, so I got 3.
Wait, what'd you roll on the die?
Oh.
2.
You have a +1? Oh no.
Oh
no.
Oh no,
We're
that's
not
good.
very stealthy. The snow's a bit crunchy.
I'm the only one that's being stealthy, man.
I got an
I'm gonna-
18. I'm being stealthy too.
Yeah, so
Oh,
Wick.
okay, yeah. Me and Jasper are fine.
Yeah.
I'm just loud.
I mean, 11's
Big
not.
chunky bits.
11's
Ellie
not
is that
bad.
one kid on the playground crunching all the leaves.
Silas tries to creep through the snow and brings his knees very high so he can make nice clean footprints for you guys to step in. Wick and Elvern step through it without making a sound. And Alvira and Barbados seems to step everywhere but the footprints.
Oh no. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, but keep going, because I'll hear you on Discord.
Here, pause the thing. I'll be right back. I gotta get something.
How you doing, Jay?
Good talk. Good talk.
Big
I'm
ol'.
saying RIP to the bird. RIP.
To the owl.
Yeah, no.
Joke's on you all.
You can continue if you want to. I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, you can start it then.
Alrighty.
Fluff just startling me.
Right? You take your head out of the window, kind of in shock, and look down. And there's this kind of sickly, kind of hunger-ridden gray cat sitting there.
Um, how shattered is the window? Like, is it enough for me to climb in?
Yes.
Okay. Um, I guess I'll just climb into the window since it's just a cat.
Alrighty.
Do I see this cat as well?
Yes, you do. It is currently sitting on the windowsill.
Okay, well, I am upset that my owl is gone. However, I shrug it off as I know I can meet Evie again. And I cast Detect Magic to see if this cat is of similar nature to my owl. Or if anything else within, I think, 30 feet.
It is 30 feet, yes. You cast Detect Magic, and as you release the spell, you look at the cat. You look at everything else. No magic.
Okay.
Wait, have I already climbed in the window at this point?
Yes.
Okay. I turned around and motioned my hand for everyone to slowly make their way in, but trying to keep quiet as I make my way over to the boots that are on the right.
Wait,
Yeah,
They're on the
wait.
left. Sorry.
Can I see the cat too?
Yes.
Would I be able to speak with it using speak with animals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay. Can I do that then?
Uh, yes, you can.
Okay.
Nick, the dungeon master, did not prepare for this moment.
I knew that she was a druid. I just completely forgot.
Oh, don't worry. I forgot about it until right this second, too. This will be
With
interesting.
animal.
You get to speak with Evie's murderer.
Comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration, and all that. Limited by their intelligence. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what do you say?
Hmm. I don't know what to ask him. I didn't think this far ahead.
You could ask if
Everyone
there's
else hears,
any danger.
What happened?
and everyone else around you hears, and you just hear, food, food, please, food.
Hungry.
I guess I'll dig into my bag and grab a little bit of my rations to give to the cat.
The cat kind of walks over to you and kind of paws through the rations for any meat or anything. Which there's some dry jerky there, so the cat just kind of looks at it and then slowly starts to kind of nibble at it.
Am I able to grab the rest of my rations, put them in my bag?
I'll say yeah.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Everybody else hears meowing. Alvira, you hear. Bird went by.
Why are you snickering, Alvira? Did the cat tell you a joke?
No, no,
No.
that wasn't in. I was Elvira wasn't snickering. I was snickering.
Oh, okay,
What?
okay.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask it if the cat killed it? Evie?
Hungry. Bird, food.
Okay. Is there anyone else in the house or in the mill? I mean,
Friend here.
Brendan?
Friend
Yeah.
asleep. Friend tastes good.
What?
The owl. Is
And
the
you see
owl?
as the cat kind of goes and walks over past the pair of boots and snuggles on a hand that's there. And then goes and starts chewing on the thumb.
Oh.
Can I kill the cat?
Oh.
Grass.
Can I murder the cat?
Oh my
Honestly, I
Leave the
welcome
poor
it.
cat out of
I
this.
welcome it.
No, don't kill the cat.
That cat killed my owl.
Go. Nick, can I kill the cat?
That cat is trying to survive.
Sure.
No.
All right.
No.
Can I
Go ahead
can I
and roll to
interfere?
attack.
No.
I want
All
to.
right.
Can I interfere with this?
Yeah.
Sure. I'll
Um,
say roll a dexterity check. Both of you roll a dexterity check.
All right.
So roll your d20 grass and add your dexterity bonus.
Yeah. Where's it at?
It's towards the left.
Plus 3. Okay. Hold up. Let me roll my d20. 10, and then I have dexterity, right? 13.
I got a nat 20.
Oh, let's go.
Some bullshit, man.
So Barbados, you hear the scraping of a sword on its scabbard, and he goes to swing it down onto the kitten from behind, and you just hear the clang of metal ring out, and the kitten kind of jumps and runs behind Elvira, as Elvern is standing there with a short sword over where the kitten was.
What are you doing?
That's a dead body. The cat killed it.
Who says the cat killed him?
Me? I'm always right.
There's no way this cat could have killed them.
A cat killed a
You saw
human?
it. He was eating it.
Doesn't
He
mean
was
the
eating
cat
the
killed
man.
him.
Yeah, he was sleeping, and then he killed him. He ate him.
What's the point of killing the
You
cat?
hear,
Revenge.
friend not kill, friend sleep.
He's oblivious to what's going on.
And Elvira, it dawns on you that this is a kitten, probably no more than a couple months old.
Can we check if the dude is alive or not? Or is he just dead?
I mean,
He was dead.
he's dead.
You see,
He's
Okay.
dead.
you
Elvira.
look over at him and you see a crossbow bolt sticking out of his neck, and half of his skull is caved in,
Okay, that's
Oh.
fun.
and his entire right arm is detached. You look over to the left, and you see that is what became dust on the grinding stone, and is what dripped onto the floor.
Became dust?
If you grind something
Magic.
long enough, it just turns to dust.
Oh.
Yeah, the arm was in the grinder.
Oh, okay.
And you get the sense
was-
that something rather unfortunate happened here.
Yeah. Okay. Can I look around? Like, can I look through the crates and look on his person and see if there's anything of note or if all the valuables have been taken?
Yeah, go ahead, roll an investigation check. Avra, you look down and you notice that the kitten is currently trying to climb your pant leg.
23.
Can I grab the kitten?
Yes, you can.
I
23.
Yeah. I got 17.
Whatever,
Plus 6.
whatever grain there was that was still good is gone. Whatever you see a couple belt loops on their pants that were ripped, where you can assume there was once attached a pouch of coins.
Okay. So this place has been robbed.
It is the bandits.
Yeah.
It was them.
And
That it
you
was.
look around and see a completely covered door that would lead to a cellar.
Oh, I walked. I opened it up. Is it barred or anything?
There's a crate on top of it. You
Oh,
just see the edge of the door with the handle.
I attempt to push it out of the way.
Okay, go ahead, roll a strength check.
It's plus 0. So 8.
You're
I can't
pushing
do
and
it.
you're pushing, and your feet slip out from under you and you fall to the ground.
Ugh.
Can I push it? I think you need someone big and strong.
Yeah,
Like me.
Barbados. Yeah,
Yeah.
can you give me a hand here?
Yeah, I got you. Do I roll?
Yes. Roll a strength check. Okay,
All
stop
right.
fucking my back, please.
10.
10.
Yeah.
You go to push it and you kind of just end up pushing yourself backward on the slick stone floor.
My sandals.
Hang on, hang on. I cast firebolt at the floor so it melts the snow. It's the stone floor, right?
Stone floor with a wooden trapdoor.
Okay,
Not
well
trapdoor, cellar door.
then I cast firebolt at the stone floor to melt the snow so it's not as slick. Actually, wait, can I just
Okay.
use prestidigitation to clear the slick? Or do I have to use firebolt?
No, you can use prestidigitation to just move the snow some.
Yeah, I just
Off to the
shove
side.
all the snow away from the trapdoor so it's like clean around it.
Well, it's not. There's not snow on that portion. It's just slick from like icy weather.
Okay, well then I shove it into a corner. All the slick, all the slush.
Okay.
Try now, Barbados. I'll give you a hand.
All right. Do I roll again?
Roll with advantage.
What happened?
Roll
You
twice
Roll
and take
twice
the
and
higher.
take the higher of the two.
Okay. 14. Oh, they fell. 17.
17
17.
plus.
Strength, right?
Yes.
5. 12.
Shit.
22.
Okay. You push it away, no problem this time, and it just kind of skids off the door.
All right. Can I flex my muscles? You know, like.
Do like a performance check for that.
Yeah, cause I'm strong.
Yes, actually, roll a performance check.
Okay. All right. What was it? Performance?
Yeah, performance.
Do I add anything? No, right?
Yeah, it's
Whatever
performance.
you
Your
It's a
performance
skill.
bonus.
Whatever your
12.
bonus is.
12.
12.
Yeah.
Okay, so you flex your muscles, and while you are looking at the muscles, your companions are looking uh, at the cellar door.
No.
Alkira, you do hear the cat go meet
What happened?
as the cat is currently watching Barbados.
Wait, say that again?
You hear the cat say in your ear, meat.
Bro, that cat eats people.
I agree. That's
It's
why we
my
should kill
demon
it.
cat now. My demon cat.
Well, it is non-magical. I know that. Is the trapdoor to the cellar locked of any kind, or was there just a crate on top of it?
There was just a crate on top of it.
Oh, well then I open it up and look down.
It is pitch black down there, but you see very dimly stairs leading down.
Okay. I back
Here,
in
can you
the.
pause it real quick? Can I go get something to drink?
Okay.
Alright. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. As Grass goes to get a drink, I beckon the party, and I head on downward.
Avi, does Silas have dark vision?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm an elf.
I
So
forget
are
that.
you, and so is Alvera. I don't think
Mhm.
fire genasi's don't have dark vision, do they?
I do actually. I have 60-foot dark vision.
Oh, well, sorry.
It's like
Barbados
all
does
of us.
not
Then.
have dark
You
vision.
Aha!
blind.
Stupid human.
That's okay. I can help, kind of. Not
Go ahead and
really.
start. Go ahead and start.
Yeah. I go down, because I have dark vision. So, yeah. I head downward into the cellar.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, okay. 7.
Alrighty. As you're walking down the steps, the wooden floorboards beneath you creak. And you are walking down, and you are led into a stone room. All the grains that were in there previously are gone. And you're looking around and don't really see much of anything.
There's nothing
And
here.
then, what is your armor class?
Well, with mage armor, it is 17.
17 jet assists. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as a frying pan comes out and hits you in the side of the head.
Oh. Bong. Ah! And
I already told you, we don't have anything else.
my rapier is out towards whoever just hit me.
You look over and you see this probably about 16-year-old human girl kind of trying to squint to see in the dark. She looks like she hasn't eaten in a few days. As she's standing there, she can barely hold the frying pan up, and she's already out of breath after spinning a while.
Okay, my left hand is kind of on my head, but I sheath my rapier. I'm like, oh, it's alright. I'm not here to rob you. What happened here? And I reach in my bag and pull out some rations, some breads and jerky.
Who are you?
Silas Donstar. I've been tasked with finding out what happened at this windmill. At this mill, sorry. Uh, who are you? I'm sorry, these are my companions, by the way, and I point towards the stairs.
My name's Allie. And, Elvira, you here? Or everyone else hears, and Elvira hears, and at the sound of that, Allie apparently gets a second wind and pushes right past you up the stairs. To get the cat. Theo, I thought they took you.
They? Are you talking about the ruffians who stole your stock and murdered the man upstairs?
No, he can't. He can't be dead. And she'll start trying to go further up the stairs.
I wouldn't go.
I grab her arm and stop her from going up the stairs. You don't want to see that. It's not good.
His belt was slashed.
He can't be dead.
He
He said he was just going to talk to them.
Well, they did more than just talk. You can barely even recognize him.
He sits down on the step, hugging the cat, and starts to cry.
As she does that, I'll just go further into the cellar and look around.
There is nothing else in the cellar.
No crates, no nothing.
All the crates that were there are emptied and broken.
Okay.
Wait, can I ask how many people are in there?
Just the girl.
Just her.
Oh, can I ask her, if she knows where they came from or like where they're at? Like the bandits?
They always came from the west. They've been stealing our stock for a while. They followed us since Belfinia.
Alright. Thanks for the information.
Do you know where they're holed up in the west? Or you know of any camps? Anything? Do you have any other information that would be useful in helping us bring justice to the man you know?
It's always come from the trees. About once a week.
Do you know what day? I guess not
I
that it
don't.
matters. They're not coming back.
I don't know. And she just kind of shuts down and hugs the cat. Elvira, you hear the cat go, "Why sad? Why sad?"
Um,
I will say
You
your
do
cat.
remember when you were walking towards the mill? On the next hill over, there was a band of trees leading into a wooded area.
I will say, Ali, your cat did dispatch of a friend of mine. Uh, she will be missed. Perhaps one day you'll get to meet her.
He just kind of hugs the cat.
I suppose we should go to the trees. Do you know where town is, Allie?
I do. He was supposed to take me there on his next trip in.
Well, let's lead you back. We can bring you to the tavern, and then we'll be on our way.
He just kind of nods and stands up.
I guess we take her back.
Don't really have any other choice.
Yeah, we can't just leave her here. We can't
Not
just leave her
alone.
here.
It's about a 2-hour walk back. If you guys want to do this.
I mean, yeah, we have to. There's not really... We have to bring her back. We can't just leave her here or let her fend for herself in the winter. She doesn't look dressed for it.
My body temperature's a bit warmer since I'm a fire genasi, so I could keep her warm on the way there.
Alright.
Alrighty. You get back about early afternoon. And you see Talos at the bar serving serving a old elf looking man in a robe, and you see him serving an old elf looking man. You see him serving a young human in kind of fighting clothes. A shorter man in a black cloak, and a younger woman in a purple cloak. They're just sitting at the bar, kind of talking to each other. And he sees you, and he sees the girl with you, and you see a crestfallen look on Talos's face as he kind of waves her to the bar.
We found her at the mill. She was in the cellar. Alone. It's not pretty. Everything was stolen. Anything of value. I'm assuming the man who owned it, I think that's who it was, he's dead. Gruesome it was.
And you see that the girl kind of winces, and Talos goes, "This might be better discussed at another time."
Of course. We have to leave to follow with where they went. We merely just dropped her off so she's not in the winter by herself.
Elm, Lexi, you two go see if you can clean her up a bit. And they both nod and get up and kind of escort her out of the building.
I nod towards Elm, and I guess we leave.
Alright.
Towards the trees. that
You guys head
was
back
safe.
towards the mill. Are you guys moving stealthily, not stealthily? What are you guys doing?
I'm assuming we hastily go back to where the mill was, but then make towards the trees that Allie pointed out. Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to make trail after those bandits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. You guys stand before a wooded area, thick with pine. You hear the river running off in the distance to the right of you, going in, or actually coming out of the woods. What would you like to do?
Are there any, like... The snowfall's too fresh for there to be footprints around here, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I guess we just have to... Maybe we could follow the river. Oh, maybe we can follow the river. We'll just go into the woods and start searching for wherever their camp may be. It can't be far if they come every week. Anybody else have any suggestions?
They have to have a small little camp set up, don't they?
I'd assume so they'd have something. I mean, it
I'm
can't be far.
thinking
They have to
if there's-
haul all the stock that they stole.
If they're still there, I say we try and interrogate one of them and figure out where they're coming from, who they're working for.
It's not bad. Alright. Onward.
Alright. Sorry. You guys go through the... You guys make your way through the woods following the river. And you guys are walking for a bit. And the snow kind of not crunching anymore, but just kind of drifting around your feet as it's more of a powder in this area. Are you guys moving stealthily, non-stealthily? What are you doing?
Suppose we're, moving stealthily, being slow, careful, trying to look for any signs of...
Movement.
Yeah.
That's what I would think, just looking for movement.
If I could get you guys to roll a stealth check.
Ooh, I will do better on this one.
9.
Oh, did my mouse die? Man.
Oh.
14.
I got a 7.
I can't get anything
I got-
lower than a 9, but I got a 9.
I got a 17.
Alrighty.
7
You guys
plus
move
3,
through the-
10.
Alrighty. You guys move through the surrounding brush with no problem. The snow kind of just swirling around your feet, kind of shifting. And then you hear a loud snap. And you look back, and Silas has apparently stepped on a very sizable twig. And you guys move forward. What would you guys like to do?
Just keep looking for signs of where they could have taken the stolen goods.
All right, roll a survival or investigation check.
Definitely
I know.
investigation for me.
Wait, do we all do it?
Nope, just him and one other person can.
21 investigation.
I'll roll for survival. I got a 17.
Okay.
21 investigation.
You guys see some broken branches on some of the lower hanging trees. Leading farther in to the leading farther into the wood, but away from the river.
Oh, this way. I point the branches out and start going that way.
Alrighty. You guys spend a little bit of time navigating through the wood, looking for broken branches. And you come to this little clearing where there's normally powder snow. There is nothing but melted slush here, a small ring of stones, and what looks like two branches leaning on each other, stuck in the ground.
I point them out, everybody. We should try go about this quietly. They might still be around here. Do we see any of the stock that was taken?
You do not know.
Do the circle of rocks have anything in them?
You look in the circle of rocks and you see ashes mixed with a few pieces of old tinder.
Okay.
Is there any footprints or any drag marks towards, like, from away from the clearing?
There's not any drag marks or footprints, but you do see broken branches leading now a little bit southwest.
I kind of beckon everyone to see what I've seen, and if there's nothing else that we're gonna check this site for, then continue onward.
Would there be a way to check how, like, what the ashes are from, or is it just from the wood?
It's from the wood.
Okay.
You walk a little bit further, about another half an hour worth of walking. And you come across another clearing with a couple of big bushes and what looks like a half circle of stone. What would you guys like to do?
Do the bushes look disturbed of any kind?
Make an investigation check.
Alrighty. $15.
Alrighty. You go over to the bushes and you realize that these are just crates and leaves intricately woven into a net. And you lift up the net, and it is stacks and sacks of grain.
Okay,
Hmm.
we found the stock. Now where? Oh, then.
I don't think we can take any of this back with us, at least not in one trip.
No, but now we know where it is.
We could let Talus know.
Right. But what if those bandits come back and it gets moved?
I suppose we could have half of the group stay here. Make sure that they don't come back.
I'm not sure if we should split up.
Hmm.
I can take care of the place, and y'all can go back. I'm strong, and I can kill all of them.
If the bandits come back and you're on your own, I don't know if we don't know how many there are either.
Hey, did you see that box I pushed earlier?
Oh my
You saw
god,
my
the
muscles.
box.
I
It's
killed
not
all of
a
them.
If he
living
wants
thing,
if he
crap.
wants to stay here on his own, so be it.
Yeah, I can stay.
Oh
But
god.
Someone else should
I
stay with him as well, so he's
Yeah.
not alone.
no, I kind of nudged Silas, letting him know that I'm gonna just stay back.
Okay. Uh. How recent is the. Like, can I go to the stones and see how recent the campfire has been there? Like, was it this morning that it was extinguished, or was it like, is it?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
12.
12?
Yeah.
You see that a campfire has not actually been lit. It looks like these stones were recently laid out and are unfinished.
I point this out to the rest of the party and say, they haven't even made camp all the way. They'll probably be back. We could set an ambush. We could hide amongst these bushes, maybe in the tree line.
That could work.
Wait until they return.
If you say that, Elvira, what is your armor class?
Where is that at?
Looking on your
That would
looking on
be
your character sheet, it's gonna be right next to your initiative. It's gonna be the like the shield symbol. It's gonna be your armor class. It's gonna have a number in it.
Oh, 11.
11.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is a natural 20.
Oh,
Bro.
Yo. What does that mean?
Means crit, means
For
double damage.
11
Oh.
points total of piercing damage.
Wait, what does that mean?
You take 11 points of piercing damage
Oh.
as you feel a burning sensation
What
in
the
your
hell?
abdomen, and you look down, and
Anyways.
a crossbow bolt is buried up to the feathers in your abdomen.
Oh god. Wait, do I do something?
If I could get everybody to roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh no.
initiative, okay.
Initiative, what would that be?
Yeah.
It's right next to your armor class.
I think it's just wouldn't it be a
Wait, what die?
D20.
I got a 12.
20.
I got a 12.
I got a 16.
I got 10.
All right, hold up, everybody.
Nick counts down.
19.
Nick counts down from high to low.
Yep, give me just a second here. Too.
Ellie. Ellie, you
It's
gotta.
okay. I have 9
Alrighty.
hit points left.
Anybody from
Oh,
20 to
God.
25?
I'm 19. That's as close as we got, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yep.
was that Elvira or Wick that just said that?
Wick.
Wick. B1. All right, 15 to 20.
I have 16. Alvin.
What is going on with this pen? All right, fuck this pen. I have a
Wait,
pen in
how
my pocket. What am I doing?
Wait, how much damage did I take?
11.
Oh, 11? Okay.
All right, 15 to 10.
Me, I got a 12.
Elvin, you said you got 11?
No, I had 16.
Okay. Okay. Ten to 5.
6. Silas.
Oh dear God. And everyone else?
I had 10.
12. Dawson.
Okay. All right. As Alvira looks down and sees a crossbow bullet sticking out of her stomach now. 3 bandits strapped down. One next to Wick. One next to Elvern, and one next to Barbados. But they are all behind where Alvira got hit. Wick, if you would like to start us off.
So they dropped behind. Wait.
There's more?
So the bandits dropped behind? Wait. I'm sorry, my brain isn't quite working right now.
They're currently standing in the clearing. Alvira is facing one direction,
Okay.
and the band is strapped down on the other side of your group, next to 3 of you, but where Alvira was looking, no bandits strapped down from the trees.
I would like to attack the bandit closest to me with my double-bladed scimitar.
All right, go ahead and roll to attack.
Alrighty. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. 15 plus 3, that's 18.
That definitely hits. Go ahead, roll damage.
Alrighty. 2d4, yes, plus 3.
Correct.
So that's a 2 plus 3, that's 5, and then plus 3 is 8.
Alrighty.
Oh, yeah.
You swing your, you spin your double-bladed scimitar and bring it around your waist and then bring it in front of you, slicing the bandit across the chest plate. You see a spurt of blood, but he is still standing.
Okay.
Which brings it to his turn now. He is going to attack you with his scimitar. Does a 18 hit? Does an 18 hit your armor class?
12.
All right. So you take 7 points of slashing damage
Okay.
as he uses the force of your strike against him to
Yummy.
spin and strike against you as well.
He's using the force? It's a bit above our pay grade.
And that brings us to Elvern's turn.
I want to draw both of my daggers and go after the bandit that's currently on me. That dropped behind me.
All right. Go ahead and roll to attack.
13 plus 4, 17.
That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
And then damage is just strength again, right?
For daggers, it would be dexterity.
6.
Alrighty. You flip your daggers into your hands and just gotta jam them up under his breastplate. And you see a spurt of blood from his mouth. He is still standing, but not looking too hot. Is there anything else that you would like to do?
Can I headbutt him?
You have already used your attack action this turn.
Okay.
You only get one so far, correct? Or do you have two now as a fighter?
Where would I check that?
Oh, I thought he was a rogue. You get 2 attacks at level 5, Nick.
Okay.
No,
Then no.
No.
Alright.
Yeah, that'll be it then.
Alright. Barbados, it is now your turn.
Yeah. So there's one near me, right?
Correct.
Can I attack him?
Yeah.
All right. Let me roll.
Go ahead and roll to attack. Roll a d20 and add
I
your
get
strength modifier.
11 plus 5, so 16.
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage. A 1d8 if you are rolling single-handedly, or a 1d10 if you're rolling with 2 hands on your weapon.
Oh, I need to roll an 8. All right, give me a second.
Yeah, roll your d8.
It's an 8, right, for attack?
For your damage.
Oh, yeah, damn. All right. Eight. I got an 8.
And then 8 plus your strength bonus.
8 plus 5.
Sheesh.
So that's 13, right?
Yep. Alrighty.
Is that good?
So he lands in front of you.
Uh-huh.
and you just, in one clean motion, draw your sword from the scabbard on your back and bring it slashing down. And his head is now separated from his body as he falls to the ground.
I can cast a blood curse on him if he's at 0 HP now.
Okay.
I can cast Blood Curse of the Fallen Puppet and make him do an act of aggression to the nearest enemy.
Alrighty, that would
That's
be
not
the
creepy.
Oh, bro, don't hit me.
that would be the one on Elvern.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll the hit, I guess.
What would I roll on for that strength?
D20.
Got a 14. Do I have anything I can add to it, or is it just that?
I will save you the trouble for this. Uh, your eyes go black as a blood vessel pops in your eyes, and red tears start streaming down your face as you reach out and twist your hand, sending him to his now former comrade that is engaged with Elvern. The near complete decapitation of his head. The near complete decapitation, making his head kind of dangle at his side as he spins to attack his friend, as he just reaches for the jaw and snaps the head backwards. They both fall limp.
Wow.
Ready.
That's not terrifying at all.
No, that's not. That's normal.
Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
What a loser.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my god.
Imagine getting your neck snapped.
Okay, moving on. That brings us to Alvira.
Elvira? Okay, wait, is there still like an arrow through my abdomen?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Can I use wait, can I take it out and use healing word on myself?
I would say yeah.
Huh?
I would say yeah. I'll make that one action.
Okay. What do I roll? Do I need to roll?
Yes, you would roll. Damn, I'm a druid main. How do I not know this? Roll a d4 plus your spellcasting. Or
Okay.
I'll say that's your bonus action, since it's a bonus action. Bonus action spell.
Okay. Wait, what else do I?
Roll a 1d4 and then add your spellcasting. So add your wisdom modifier.
Um, it'd be 2.
2 total.
Mm-hmm.
What is your wisdom modifier?
1.
And you rolled a 1.
Yeah.
You regain 2 hit points.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you would like to do on this turn?
Wait, which fuck? Who's around me right now?
You have all of your friends and then one enemy, and at least one more that you know of that you cannot see yet.
Okay. Can I use frostbite on the enemy that I can see?
Is that a cantrip?
Yes.
Then yes, you can.
Okay. Do I need a roll for that?
Yes, that would be a spell attack roll.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll a d20.
I got a 19.
Oh no, sorry. That's my bad. That's something that I need to roll. You said
Oh.
frostbite, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, he rolled a 5, so that's a fail. So go ahead and roll 1d6.
I got a 3.
Alrighty. You pull the arrow out of you, and you say a word, and the wound starts to slowly close. And you turn around, and with a wave of your hand and another spoken word, you see frost slowly creep up from seemingly nowhere and coat the edges of his armor and clothing as he slows in movement. Alright, that is now. Nope, you are out of initiative, as are you. It is now Silas's turn, apparently.
So there's only 2 bandits left that I can
That you. One bandit that you can see, and at least one other that you know.
see. All right. I just know that the one other is in the tree line somewhere.
Correct.
Okay. How far away is the tree line from me?
Oh, about 20 feet.
Okay. I sigh and calm myself as I flick off my cloak and invoke my elven magic of blade singing as a bonus action.
Okay.
And draw my rapier and dash, or I guess not dash, but run into the forest towards where the arrow was. On my way, do I see where this guy is?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
18 total.
Alrighty. About another 40, 50 feet ahead of you, you see him crouching down behind a tree trunk, loading another bolt.
Okay, so I used 20 feet. I'll use the
20 more feet?
Yeah,
Or...
I used the remainder 20 feet. So now I'm
Okay.
like 30 from him.
Yep.
I'll cast. I don't know if I want to though. Yeah, I'll cast Firebolt at him.
Alright. Go ahead and roll the hit.
That is a 13, my good sir.
It definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
And that is 5 points of fire damage.
You hit him square in the eyes. And you hear a small sound as you see blood pour from his face. And he falls limp over the log.
Sweet. I then turn towards the other guy and I end my turn.
Alrighty. And then let me see. Then Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
All right, it is now back to Wick's turn.
Do I still have a bandit on me?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Let me look at what I can do. Hmm. I can produce a flame and burn him. That's what I would like to do.
Okay, go ahead and roll a. I'm assuming produce flame is what you're using.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
So what do I roll for that?
Uh, roll a d20 and add your spell modifier.
Will that be the hit slash DC thing?
Correct.
Okay. That is a 16 plus 6, so 22.
Roll for damage.
All right, what do I roll for that? Just the
A
D20?
1d8.
Okay, 1d8, okay. That is 6.
Alrighty. As you kind of flick your hand, a flame appears, and you kind of just thrust it forward into the slash that you made with your double blade. And you see the frost that is collected on his armor and on his clothes immediately evaporate as the clothes that are underneath burst into flames. You hear a small shriek, and he falls limp.
No.
All right, that brings us to Elvern's turn. Would you like to do anything?
I mean, what can I do really? Because they're all dead, right?
That you know of.
Can I roll for perception to look around to make sure there's no one else?
Yeah, go ahead, roll perception.
Ba, 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 ba. I rolled a 19.
Alrighty. You look around and you see from you look around, checking all the makeshift bushes and looking around, you see someone is currently trying to struggle from getting out of a makeshift bush. You see one in a makeshift bush about 15 feet off to the side. And he's not a big of a threat, so you're not worried about him. You look up and you see two in the trees getting ready to jump down.
Um, can I pull out my I gotta make sure I do have this. Can I pull out my short bow and take a shot at one of them?
I'll say yes. Go ahead.
Okay.
Roll to attack.
Okay. 15.
That hits. Go ahead, roll damage.
What am I rolling for with the bow?
A believe a 1d6. Let me
6.
check. Let me double check that. Yeah, 1d6.
Okay.
plus your dexterity modifier.
Okay.
Um, 6 plus 4, so 10.
All right, you shoot a arrow up, and it sinks into the side of his arm, and you see him almost lose his grip on the tree. But he's still kicking.
I think that's on my turn.
All right. It is now the guy stuck in the crate's turn. He is going to roll to get out. And that is a natural 1, so he somehow gets more stuck. You just hear over from the side. Barbados, it's now your turn.
What happened? All right. Hey, can you give me a recap real quick? Kind of lost.
Oh my god.
There is a guy currently stuck in a crate, or stuck in a net next to a crate.
There's a guy stuck in a net
Two
next to a
people
crate.
in the trees above you,
Uh-huh.
and that's it.
Well, I only have a sword, so can I like climb up and like kill one of them? Is that a thing?
The
Or like how would it work?
You cannot climb up yet, but or you cannot climb up.
Uh-huh.
But there is a guy stuck in a crate.
I'll just help out the guy stuck in the crate because it's pretty much all I can do.
Alrighty. You said you would like to attack him?
No, not the guy in the crate. Not the guy in the crate.
Oh.
Is he a bad guy?
You do not know.
Oh, we don't know.
You would assume so.
Yeah, I'll just kill the guy in the crate. Fuck the guy in the crate.
What the fuck?
Alright.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll to attack.
To attack. So that's the 8, right?
Yes. Or no, that's one. That's a D20.
D20. Okay, hold up. 10, and then plus strength, right?
Yep.
5, 15.
Alright. And then go ahead and roll a D8.
All right. Oh, he's wrong. Hold up, the wrong. Nice. 4,
4.
4, and then plus strength, right? As well.
Yep.
9.
Alright. You stab your sword into the writhing mess of nets, and it stops moving, and you pull it out, and the entire length of your blade is now coated in crimson.
Okay. He already did.
Alright, and now, Alvira, it's your turn.
Wait, what's going on? I'm sorry.
Barbados just killed someone.
Oh, all right. Uh, can I? Can do we know what he looks like yet? Or
No, he's currently wrapped in nets.
nets?
You do have 2 people above you guys, though.
Oh, 2 people. Can we see them?
Yes, they are both hooded figures that don't seem the friendliest.
Oh,
But you don't know, they could be great friends.
okay. Can we try talking to them, or will they not answer?
You can try.
Okay. What do I do?
No, what do you say?
Um, why are you here? Perhaps.
All right. That's your action. Is there a bonus action that you want to do?
Um, hmm. Is there any water nearby?
Um, not besides the snow that you're surrounded.
Snow, and I can't turn that into water.
Are you trying to shape water again?
Well, like not necessarily, but just in case they do attack, I want to have it ready. Is that possible?
I will say, or in another round, yes. In this one, no, because you used your action to try to ask them a question.
Oh, okay, okay. Then just the question.
Alrighty. Silas, it is now your turn. You turn back to where the group is, and you see Elvira and Elvern both looking up, and Barbados is standing next to a box.
Is it possible for me to acrobatize myself into the tree beside the two cloaked figures?
I would say roll an acrobatics check, DC 17.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh! Okay, well, hear me out, Nick. So, you know me. I'm cool.
Oh no.
Blade singers such as
I can agree
myself,
with that.
blade singers such as myself get advantage on these checks, and I rolled a 4. But with advantage, I rolled a 17, so 21 total. If you don't believe
Alrighty.
me, I got a screenshot.
You take a running start, and grabbing onto branches, you launch yourself up tree to tree, and you land kind of Spider-Man style on a tree branch a few feet away from theirs. One of them is currently trying to hold on by one arm and has an arrow sticking out of the other. And one of them is kind of just now glaring at you, hand on his scimitar.
I don't like the way he's glaring at me. So, with still that calmness about me, I cast Green Flame Blade and I make an attack towards him.
Okay. Roll the hit.
That is a 16 to hit.
That just hits.
Cool. He takes. He's just a normal weapon die. 11 points of piercing damage as I stab him with my rapier, and then with a flourish, as I yank it out, his companion takes 4 points of fire damage. Adding to
You
the,
stab him, and as you pull it out, kind of reaches forward and grabs your arm, so that you're almost face to face, and you're both almost falling out of the trees. And the fire that flies from his room to his compatriots sinks into his clothes and starts to smolder and burn. And he loses his grip and falls nearly on top of Elvern. But he falls on his head, and you hear a loud. Yeah, so he's dead.
How's the guy who grabbed my arm looking?
Pretty rough.
Cool. Bonus action, I stare back at him. Just glaring.
You glare at him intensely.
Yeah. That's my turn.
It is now his turn. And out of breath, kind of choking on blood, he goes, "Enough. What do you want with me?" And that is his turn. Wick, it is now your turn.
What is there exactly that I can do? I know that there's. Is there one bandit left?
Yes, and that is the one that just talked. He is currently about 20 feet up in the tree, or about 10 feet up in the tree. You are welcome to try and throw something at him, or talk to him, or do whatever you see fit.
See, let me see if I have. I think I have on me. I actually have a crossbow. See. I do
Alrighty.
have a crossbow, yeah.
Go ahead and attack. Roll to attack.
Okay. That is a 17. And then
Alrighty.
let me look at the. It's 1d8 plus 2 for damage.
Correct.
It's a 5 plus 2, that's a 7.
Alrighty. How do you want to do this?
Let's see. I take out my crossbow and I point it up towards him in the tree, not necessarily trying to kill him, but trying to knock him down, so I aim for the leg.
So you want this to be non-lethal, lethal, or lethal?
If he dies, he dies, I guess.
Oh no.
Tell him. You tell him.
Bruh.
Alright,
He
so
dies, he dies.
you shoot the crossbow bolt up at him, and you see it slice a nice long line along his thigh. And you hear as something gets pinned, and he falls to the ground, dead.
Fuck.
Alright then. Suppose he's taken care of now.
Man, I wanted to interrogate him.
Can I teabag on him and flex my muscles?
I mean, I guess
Sure.
there's nothing stopping you, you know?
Can I do that?
Do a performance check on that guy.
Teabag.
Yeah,
Alright.
performance check on
Teabag.
What is that,
Yeah.
a 20?
that.
Nick, can I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, what is it, a 20?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a modifier for performance, Grass?
Let me see. Performance plus 2. I got a 12.
Okay.
Amazing. Alright, I guess at this point, while he's doing his thing, I'll slide down from the tree and begin. I'll go back to that one dude who I burned his face.
I wanna try searching their pockets or anything to see if there's anything indicating where they came from.
Yeah, that's also what I was doing. Looking for notes.
Alrighty.
or
Both of
anything
you go
like
ahead and
that.
roll an investigation check.
Notes and coin. Might I add?
Yeah. Just anything, really. Investigation.
19 for notes and coin.
14.
Alrighty. Yeah, go ahead and. Or sorry, what did you get?
He got a 19, I got a 14.
You're.
Alright, so
I mean, yet.
Elvern finds a couple silver pieces, 7 in total. A few scimitars, a few crossbows. Nothing special. Silas finds a pouch holding about 175 gold pieces.
Sheesh.
38 silver pieces and 15 copper.
You'd say 15 silver?
38 silver and
38,
15 copper.
15, okay.
Wait, I got a question. What happened to the guy in the crate?
He's dead.
Yeah, but is he still in there?
Yeah, he's still in there.
Oh, can I look in the crate? You know, like look at him. So
What the fuck, Grass?
Sure.
like run your shit. You know, can I steal his stuff? All right, what do I
Go
roll?
ahead and roll yeah, I guess this would be roll an investigation check.
So D20, right?
Yep.
All right. Investigation.
Wait, did I find that pouch on the dude in the bushes?
12.
Yes, you did.
This is an ethical conundrum. Now, isn't it? An ethical conundrum indeed.
Ethics.
Ethics indeed.
I got a 12. Can I loot him?
Sure you can. You find a amulet.
I don't know what that is, but that's cool.
And that's about it.
Okay.
And then Silas, a 19, also yields this.
Ethics, man. I'm gonna say Silas doesn't mention the gold.
Bro?
For now. For now.
It's not cool.
For now.
For now. He tables it.
Hey, where's my payment at? That's the real question.
The mission isn't even done yet.
Oh, well, bad. Never mind.
Also, I'm dripped up with my raccoon fur. This is so weird.
What weapons did you say were laying around?
You found scimitars and short bows. Or crossbows. Not short bows.
Silas, a 19, also yields this. It is currently sending on Discord. It is in the pocket of the. It was in the pocket of the guy that grabbed your wrist.
You cut out what? The pocket of the guy?
That grabbed your wrist.
Oh, that grabbed my wrist? Did he, like, slip it to me?
Nope, it was in his pocket.
Oh, is it a note? Like, on a piece of paper?
That is all that is there.
Is it on, like, a piece of parchment, or is it, like, a physical object?
It is on a cloth reminiscent of a scarf.
Okay.
Do you speak giant?
Not even a little.
You have no idea what it means.
I bring it to the attention of the group. I say, I found this in our slain companion. Or our slain, one of the slain. Jesus. That's not what I want. I found this, and I hold up the cloth.
Take the wheel.
I hold up the cloth with the rune that's in giant on it, and I'll put it in no mic. So I don't know where else to put it.
Dino cat.
Dino cat. Oh, it's sideways. Well, there's that. I found this. It looks of giant, but I can't read it.
Does anyone here speak giant?
No.
No, I speak undercommon.
I do not either.
Perhaps someone back at the guild. Oh, there we go. Now it's upright.
Wait, what language is this?
It's giant.
Giant? Oh.
Unfortunately, I don't speak it. Yeah. We could go back to the guild and inquire with Talos and his people. Maybe Wizzy, if you remember him. He might speak it. I know he's an arcane practitioner such as myself.
Alrighty. So what do you guys plan on doing?
I agree. I'd like to go back. I need some rest.
Okay. I guess, yeah, we should make note of where this is, right?
Yeah.
We should make
Yeah.
note of where this camp is. That way we know where to go back for the supplies. Should we just tell Allie? Since it appears she's next of kin?
Yeah.
Probably. Might be for the best.
Alright. Well, let's get some food in our stomachs. I'm buying. There we go.
Aren't you poor?
I've got a few silver.
Alrighty. Do you do anything to mark where this is or anything?
I can,
I mean, I have parchment. I could write, like, I could mark where it was for how we got there.
I mean, I'm thinking, like, taking one of the, one of the shirts or something from one of the, bandits and ripping it up and, like, tying it onto a, like, as we're walking back, just, like, a trail of cloth, like, on the trees.
That's good thinking. I will assist in ripping up shirts for you to tie things with. And by ripping, I mean using a blade to cut it, because I'm not that strong.
Just decoloring these bandits.
It's not like they're using them.
You know, man's only, like, half decapitated.
Yeah.
Speaking of, are we going to talk about that? And I turn
No.
to Wick.
Should we?
What was that back there?
You know, you almost kind of hit, you know, I almost got my head decapitated right there.
You guys are silly. Wick,
Yeah,
you
guys.
did what I thought was best.
Yeah, guys, y'all are just silly. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
silly. Let's head back to the tavern.
But I swear that I saw like the guy come back to life.
What?
No, he was definitely dead. Mhm.
All right. Keeping my eye on you, Wick.
I kind of look
Poor
down at the
Buffalo.
floor, like nervously laugh to myself. Like, yeah. Mhm.
I
Come on,
cast Prestidigitation to wipe the blood off my blade.
right?
Oh, hey, look, the tavern. It's right here.
No way.
Wait, we're already back?
Yeah, you know, we just talked so much on the way. We
Oh,
bonded.
Mhm.
We bonded.
So it's almost as like we teleported.
We didn't
I mean, I can
teleport.
do that.
I just hiked for 2 hours. What do you mean teleport?
I was joking.
You and your jokes. Alvera.
Alvera?
Alvera. I walk in the door. Talos.
You walk in and see Talos just kind of wiping down the bar. There's not as many people as usual, and it is now dinner time. They're off eating dinner in their own homes.
My foxy.
There are a few patrons strewn about. What? Oh, my
Just
headset.
I take out the cloth and I set it on the bar.
Yawns.
Do you know Giant?
Oh?
I
Did
know a
you
great many languages.
Oh, Arf left.
I know a great many languages.
Can you decipher
Why?
this for
What
me?
can I do for you?
I tap the cloth and show
He
him
looks at the cloth
symbol.
and his eyes kind of narrow. When did you meet a cloud giant?
One of the bandits had this symbol in a pocket. Are you telling me that they were making deals with cloud giants?
This is the rune for silence. Cloud giants often use it to make their way into certain environments without being noticed.
So you're telling me cloud giants are here?
I would hope not. The planes have been off the radar of both dragons and giants for quite some time now.
Kind of sighs to himself.
It may be something to look into, if you don't mind, and he reaches for the cloth.
Of course. I give it to him. We found the supplies, by the way. It's in a clearing. In the forest west of the mill. We tied strips of cloth on the trees leading. It won't be hard to find. I'm kind of saying, is Allie here? Like, still at the bar?
You do not currently see her, no.
Oh yeah, because Elman... Lexi took her. Okay. Well, the supplies is found. I'm not sure what else to do. The bandits are dispatched of.
Good. That's good. What? Uh, let me go grab Allie.
Of course.
And he will go into the back room for a minute, and you will. A minute goes by, and he comes back out. Or the door opens, and Allie, Elm, and this young human girl with a purple cloak and leather armor comes out. Elm and the girl kind of wander off and leave the building. And Talos walks up with Allie. Allie, my deepest condolences. But these people have some news for you.
We found the supplies. We took care of the bandits. Justice has been served. We know where it is, but unfortunately there were no captors or anything else.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you can tell that her sadness and shock has quickly worn off, and she is now furious. Did you find anything else that would link them to anyone?
I gesture towards Talos.
They found this cloth with this rune on it. It's the language of the giants. And she looks at it and studies it, almost as if committing it to memory. Fantastic. And she walks out of the building.
Does she still have her cat with her?
The cat is actually, so she still has her cloak on.
Yeah.
And in the hood, bouncing along, you
Okay.
just see the cat's head, just kind of bouncing along, going for a ride.
Oh.
Kitty. You say Theo was the name of the little gray kitten? Cool.
I walk up to Talos and I ask if he has any cloth or towel I can use to wash my face off, as I've still got dry blood on my face from the blood curse I used.
Oh, well, I can help with that. I snap my fingers, and it's gone. Your face is clean,
Yeah.
and so are all of your weapons and
All right,
whatnot.
dear.
What a legend.
That goes for the whole
Are
party.
you all right? He's looking at Wick.
What did he ask?
If you're all right.
Yeah, yes, I'm alright. We just had a rough battle is all. And I look towards the ground at my feet and kind of rub the back of my neck.
He kind of looks at you and lifts your chin up a little bit so he can study your face. And you see his eyes glow for a second. Glow a bright amber. Magic I have not sensed in a long time. Where have you learnt this?
I when I was young, I traveled a long way to find someone who could teach me this, but I'm not permitted to tell you where he's hiding.
What is his name?
I don't think I gave the dude a name in my backstory, I don't believe.
Make one up.
Hmm?
Make one up.
Be a wizard.
His name's Jay.
Oh my god.
You did have several other names in your backstory that you were going to choose.
Dude, I did
He
have
appeared.
several.
I summoned him. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa, put it away, Jay.
Yo,
Put
yo,
it away.
Jay, whoa.
Pulls out a Glock.
He's got the knife.
Yo, Jay, put
Is
it down,
that
put it
is that
down.
a
What is
is that
that?
hot?
Jay, put it down.
What is that?
Put it down.
It's a magnet. It's a magnet.
Oh,
I
don't
don't
put
care,
that
put
near
it-
your phone.
Jay, put it down. Hey, can you meet me later?
Anyways,
Yeah, the teacher's name was Jeremiah.
I was gonna go with Jackson because
Oh.
it was one of the names I was going to choose.
Oh, there you go.
The name of my teacher was Jackseth.
That may be what he told you. But that's what he told everyone. You see him write, you see him grab a parchment and scribble something down. And you see him flourish a sign on it. He quickly looks at Silas.
Yes.
Find the girl and give her whatever you found. When you get back, there will be payment behind the building, buried in the snow.
Of course.
I must pay a friend, an old friend, a visit. And then you see him stand up, and his voice is now booming. Everybody out! Now! And you see patrons who have obviously never seen this before, like, jump and just set down their drinks and head out.
I guess I'll head out too and look for Allie wherever she went.
He looks at the rest of you before the rest of you leave. Xavier, remind me of your bartender's name.
It was Allie.
Your bartender's name is Allie too?
Yeah. It was short for
Fuck
Aloysius.
me.
You call him Al. Big Al.
Big L.
Big. No, not L. It was Aloysius Saint is his name. Good luck spelling it if you don't know how.
In the meantime, I am taking a leave of absence to go. He glances at Wick. Find someone. In the meantime, Al will be interim head of the guild. Tell him there's a ladder in the corner.
Oh yeah, he didn't even use it last
The
time. He just put it in his
tavern-
pocket.
The tavern will be closed for the next week while he gets affairs in order. Everything's happening at once and too fast. Starts putting gold and silver in different sacks, and this is the most hurried that you've ever seen him. You see him pick up something and say something in a language that you don't know. Isnasta. Idoku. Ingraf. And then jams the object into a pouch on the side of his belt. No time to pack. All right, everybody out. And as everybody ushers out, unless anyone is resisting. Is anyone resisting?
No.
Good. Everybody filters out of the bar. He slams the door shut and locks the door. He opens a pouch on the opposite side of his belt, and you see it expand to an absurd length and pulls out a small box. He opens it and puts the key in it and closes it. Opens it again, the key is gone. Closes the box and puts it back in the pouch, closing it. I hope to see you all soon. Hopefully this won't take as long as I fear it will. I will see you all again. And you see as he takes a running start and his wings expand, and with three powerful beats, he is up in the air and disappearing into the snowy wind. So now what do you guys do?
You guys look for Allie.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make a perception or I guess survival check, both with disadvantage as the wind and snow is now picking up.
Is that everybody or just Ark?
Ark and one other person if they want to.
He did look to me, so I guess I'll do it too. Because I left with everybody. I assumed he told me, like, specifically to go do it, not like he looked at me and was addressing the party kind of thing. But yeah,
No, he did tell you, because, yes.
Okay, well, perception, 13. Oh wait, no, you said disadvantage. Never mind.
Say disadvantage.
So you choose the
12.
one?
Yep.
I got 12.
16. For survival.
12 perception.
Alright. Silas, you are looking around, and the few people that you see out in the streets right now are cloaked and taller than what you remember this girl being. You don't think you see her at all.
Evie would be a great help right now.
Elvern, you look around to see different sets of trudges cutting through the snow. Some of them are filling in, but is small enough to be around the same size that is moving off towards the inn. The Bedfellows Inn, about 2 blocks away. What would you guys like to do?
So you're saying the footprints go from the tavern to the inn?
Towards the inn, yes.
Okay. Enter the inn. look around, see if she's in there. If not, ask the person at the counter if they've seen her at all.
Alrighty. You go in and she's actually at the front counter saying her head is like on, her elbows are on the counter and her fingers are on both of her temples, and she's going, I'm telling you, it's not my fault. I literally lost everything today. Can you help me out once? And you could tell she is insanely frustrated.
I'm gonna walk over to her and tap on her shoulder and try speaking with her. Allie, you okay?
What? I'm fine.
We have some stuff
It's
that
not
we
like
need to
I
give
lost
you.
my dad and my house in one day.
Well, we have some stuff to give you that we found.
Okay. What is it?
Some of the stuff that we got from the bandits, it's not much, but it's just some coins that we got. And that's really about all. That's all I found. So I reached for my pocket and gave her 2 gold coins, even though I only got 7 silver from the bandits.
Alrighty. She'll take it and say, thank you. She'll look back at the innkeep and go, there, is this enough for a while? Fine. That's enough for a week and a half, I'd say. Thank you. Alrighty. Anything else that you guys want to say to her?
No.
Am I just trudging through the snow?
No, you followed them.
Yeah,
Oh,
was
I
gonna say,
did? Okay.
Yeah, you came in behind
Oh,
us.
okay. I didn't know that.
Silas is somewhere outside town limits.
That's what I thought was happening, was I was just looking around and I just wasn't finding her. Okay. I sigh. Take a pouch from my belt, reach in, grab 2 coins, give them to Elvern, 2 gold, so that way you're repaid, and then I hand the pouch to Allie. I don't just hand it to her immediately. I kind of like reach out. I hold it for a second, like I pause, and then I give it to her.
What's this for?
I'm assuming it was your family's fortune.
Oh. Thank you. And she will turn to the innkeep and go, When is the next caravan supposed to come through? They're not due for another month, I don't think. And you see this I'd say early 50s, portly gentleman, very very thin hair on top, with a kind of $7 o'clock shadow, I would say. You can tell he's trying to appear fancy as the owner of the inn, and it is very much not working out for him. I'd say probably within the next month. I don't know what month it is, so I could be wrong. And you see him grab this metal canister and raise it to his lips and drink from it. And you hear Allie just go, "That explains so much about you." Well, thank you for this. I will be using it, I guess. I'll see you around.
Yes, don't forget the name Silas Dawnstar. I'm the one who returned your riches to you. If you check the bag, I didn't take anything because I'm an upstanding citizen. And I leave.
She just kind of glares at you. And then turns and walks up the stairs.
I'm going back to the tavern behind wherever Talos said the payment was.
Alrighty.
Because now I have no money.
You see...
I was gonna split it, by the way. I did the math, it was 35 gold each. I'm not selfish, I was just waiting. I was gonna buy everyone dinner, and then over dinner,
Sure you were, Liam.
split it. Who?
Mm-hmm.
He said
Caleb.
Liam?
Liam.
Oh. Yeah, no, I'm not a... No.
No, but you go behind the tavern and you see a snowbank.
I prestidigitation the snow out of the way. Just to avoid getting my
You can
gloves
only do
too
so
wet.
much at a time.
Right. Like, I'm digging
So
through
it takes you a
but...
solid...
Yeah.
Takes you a solid 10 minutes of having to constantly make the little hand motions for this.
I'm like digging through
until
it,
you finally...
but using prestidigitation to aid myself.
Okay.
That's kind of what I was going for.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check with advantage.
Uh, 23.
Takes you about 8 minutes, and then you see the top of a small sack. With some heft to it.
I open it. Is this the payment that Talos was talking about?
It is. It is filled with gold coins.
Okay. He didn't lock the tavern, did he? Just left.
No, he locked it.
He did lock it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How much is in here?
You're gonna sit outside of the cold and count it out?
I mean, yeah, and then I can divvy it up and bring it back to my companions in the inn. I got furs on, you know. I'm not gonna get
It's
frostbite.
250 gold pieces.
250. Okay, that's 50 each. Quick maths. Okay, I divvied up into smaller pouches, evenly. No tomfoolery. And I come back to the inn with a grin on my face. That is forced. And I hand out payment. $50 for you, 50 for you, 50 for you, and 50 for you.
This should be enough for the next couple months. As long as they don't do anything stupid.
Yes.
Thanks, man. I can buy new sandals now.
I would recommend boots. Being that it is
Sandals are
winter.
my thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I just think they're pretty comfortable. Can I flex my muscles now? Cause you know, got my haven and shit.
Of course.
All right. Do I have to roll again?
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck. All right. What is it? A 20?
Yeah, D20.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got an 18. Plus my bonus thingy.
18 plus
Alright.
performance.
20.
Sheesh.
You good.
I'll bring it and I'll flex my muscles.
Are your veins popping?
You know what? I'm gonna say roll
Yeah, of
another
course.
performance check.
What? Alright. Where's my... 16 plus 2, that's 18.
There's this older lady in the corner that's leans over and sees you and slowly goes slow clap.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I
Kinda
say thank
winks
you to
at you.
her. Whoa! Can I flex even harder?
Her nose starts bleeding.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
No, I've never
Oh
seen
my
that.
god.
Don't worry
When an
about it.
animal character
Not gonna
sees
explain it right now. We're not gonna explain it right now.
something.
Alright. Explain it to me later.
But yes, her nose starts bleeding and her very
Guys, my internet is dying.
Green Flagrant's gonna close out tonight's session.
Wait, it was a granny nose?
And
Oh, oh, I'm back.
I thought it was young.
everybody does level up to level 3.
Oh, everyone's
Yeah.
level
We
3.
know.
Cool.
Let's go.
Nick, I'm
Barbados
convinced.
flexed its way to level 3.
I'm convinced
What
you
happened?
made me give up the gold because you thought I was gonna keep it. That's
I mean,
my
you could have
theory.
chosen not. You could have chosen not to give it up.
I guess so, but that's rude because I'm going against.
Actually,
Tallow.
no. He was not sure that you found the gold. He did sense something magical that you were carrying, though.
I didn't find anything magical.
You didn't ask if you found anything magical.
What do you mean? What? What did I find that was magical?
Well, you gave it away.
We'll find out next time.
I gave it away.
Wait, does our
I
HP
gave.
go
Wait,
up
what do you
too?
mean? Hold on.
Yeah,
Pause.
do we?
What do you mean I gave it away? I gave him the pouch of gold.
You gave something away?
What do you mean? What? Bruh.
You didn't really check.
He's trying to be vague.
I know, but I checked the pouch. That's how I counted the gold. I'm confused.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe the
You
gold
counted
was
the gold.
magical.
Whatever.